Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vegan View. On today's episode, we are going to be doing a vegan mukbang from this restaurant called Sun Cafe in Studio City, California.
Again, I'm starving.
Okay, should we go? We'll go through and tell you guys what everything is. So we got the kale colossus salad.
Is there bananas?
Yes.
Yeah, this one is definitely interesting.
Oh my god.
Has anybody had this before?
No.
Have you?
I don't think I have actually.
It is bomb.
These are the jicama chips for the raw nachos.
So I'm on a raw vegan cleanse right now, so I can only eat the raw stuff. That's why we have some raw stuff.
We got raw stuff. They are great for raw stuff. So here's the nacho toppings. It's like is this like a walnut chorizo?
Ooh.
Some sour cream, guac, jalapenos, and pico.
Yummy.
We got the lettuce leaf tacos.
Yum.
Those are so pretty.
I know. Gorgeous.
Same thing though, right? It's like the walnut chorizo.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
Buffalo cauliflower.
What?
With ranch and veggie sticks.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, it's nice and charred.
Yeah. Charred.
Charred.
Take notes.
Wink, wink.
Somebody
Wink, wink.
from a past episode.
This is the shepherd's pie.
Yum.
This is the raw nacho cheese that goes with the raw nachos.
Oh, let's show that.
Yeah.
That's important. Ooh.
Oh my god.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this without spelling it.
G.
Sushi. Yum.
Yummy.
The shepherd's pie comes with a salad, just a green salad. Sea cakes. Jackfruit. Sea cake. Oh my god.
Yummy.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
I'm so excited
That
to
looks
compare
so
these
good.
Yes.
to the Gracias Madre ones.
Yes.
Who did it best?
Who did we already know?
Yeah. Oh my god, the
Mac
mac
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
They're famous for their mac and cheese,
Yeah.
right?
Mac and
Sun
cheese
Cafe
so
is famous
good.
for their mac and cheese. So if you like mac and cheese, Sun Cafe is the place for you to go. That and the shakes. Let's talk about the shakes we got.
Oh, this is the strawberry shake. It has goji berries and coconut topping.
The sweet kale.
And I'm a seasonal bitch. So this is the pumpkin shake.
And I have
love a
coffee.
seasonal
Woohoo!
Coffee.
On brand.
On brand. Should we talk about like vegan drama in the movement?
Yeah.
Always.
What's the vegan tea?
What is the vegan tea?
You guys probably know the vegan tea more than we do.
I know.
Do you guys remember that one girl 5-6 years ago who was super popular, a cute Australian girl, Asena O'Neill?
The
She was
meltdown
vegan.
girl.
The meltdown girl. She was like on Good Morning America. Whatever happened to her?
I always thought that she would come back to social media, but I don't think she has. Should we look it up?
Let's look it up. I'm going into this buffalo cauliflower.
Charred.
So charred.
Oh,
It doesn't have the batter.
I see.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Is it a real account though?
This one hasn't been updated since 2016.
Okay. Because some of them must be like fan accounts or something.
Also 2016. Yeah, none of these look like it's her account, so she's still off of it.
I do wonder what her life looks like these
Yeah.
days.
Probably very peaceful.
Yeah, well, she stuck to it then, because she kind of, you know.
That's a lot, like, to... I feel like she blew up pretty quickly and she was really young. And, like, I can't imagine... I mean, I was on the internet in my 20s, but I wasn't on the internet in the way that the internet is now, where people are really, like, everyone has an opinion and they are not afraid to share it. And they don't really care about your feelings.
So I think as a whole in society, we're more aware of bullying and we're more aware of, being nice to people on the internet, not trolling people, that kind of thing. And I think as a generation too, we're more aware of being nice and how other people feel, but yet I feel like that hasn't really helped. I feel like there's so many trolls, everybody has troll accounts, everybody's mean, everybody has Finstas.
I mean, I go through comments on Instagram posts and like on TikTok posts, and people say some mean shit.
Like so mean.
And it's like other people jump on it.
Yeah.
They're like, and then they just like get each other riled up, and they're just like attacking this person, not thinking like, oh, that's a human being.
Cancel culture.
Yeah. And it's like I've seen some people post some things that I don't agree with on the internet, or what I would consider stupid. At the end of the day, none of it's true. It's your opinion. It's what I think. Joy could have a different opinion about X person and think that that person, what they're saying is completely true. But I would never like go onto their account and like harass them and say like, oh, you're this, or you're stupid, or create a fake account to do that. Like,
it's just about having respect for the other person. Like, you can disagree, and just because somebody like has a platform doesn't mean they're not susceptible to constructive criticism. But it's like there's a way to deliver it that opens up a conversation rather than just being like, this is what I think of you, and like that's that.
Have you guys heard of Haley Hoffman Smith? She's really big on like manifesting and working on your inner self to achieve your dreams and all that kind of stuff. She has a podcast called Big Conversations that I like. She talks a lot about affirmations and manifesting, which is something that I'm not super into, but I would like to get into. So she's kind of like my inspo into that. And she has one episode where she talks about just her having 2 reels that blew up. I think they both got like more than 2 million views each. Wow. So with that came so much like harassment and people who were mean, because it doesn't just go to your target audience. I think as a whole, it's seen by so many people, and then it gets reposted, and then it's like an avalanche effect. And how much it affected her at one point, how mean people were being, and the things they would say, just to, just about her. They thought she was stupid, just about her appearance. They had a problem with her eyebrows, just about everything. How
when people go for appearance, that's where I draw the line. It's like, I understand like we can get like heated as vegans when it comes to animal cruelty. Then I can be like, get a little bit aggressive, I guess. But it's because I'm not personally attacking you like your eyebrows are fucking ugly or your nose is big or whatever mean shit that people say to each other.
Right, attacking someone's character.
Yeah, it's like if you're supporting animal cruelty or something and you're just like bragging about it, then I'll be like, I think you're psycho. That's different.
People are really quick to, I think, insult other people physically, how they look physically, and then
I hate that. That's like crossing.
Or they don't agree with one thing they said, and then they just insult the person's like intelligence as a whole.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I think needs to stop, because you don't know that person.
Yeah. What's your goal? Are you trying to change this person's mind? Just attacking them with like hateful comments is not going to do it. If you're trying to open up a conversation, have a like adult dialogue, then you can do that, but be respectful.
So how have you guys dealt with negative comments that you've gotten either on reels or on photos or just in the DMs?
I just block out negative energy.
That's
like
so good.
My page, my piece. Like if you if you say something negative, I'm not even gonna respond to you. Like you're blocked. You're not welcome here.
Yeah. I need to get better about doing that, because my instinct is to like respond and try to have a conversation with this person. But I need to realize that if they're leaving a rude comment, like they're not trying to have a conversation. They're like, if they were, they would have been more open about it.
They've already made up their mind and they just want to attack you. They just want to get a reaction out of you.
Exactly.
Because they're miserable.
I have to like walk that through my head and be like, you know what, this person's not even worth reasoning with. Like just block, delete, move on. It's hard.
Luckily enough, I don't think I get many negative comments like on my Instagram and stuff. I don't think I have like enough of a following for that. Like I think people who go into like the hundreds of thousands, like millions of followers, they deal with that a lot more because people think that they won't see those comments. Whereas I feel like people are more hesitant to comment on people with like a smaller following because they know they'll see it. And then they have to maybe deal with the repercussions of that. I think I've gotten like, I posted like one vegan related video on my Instagram. It was like a reel or something, and somebody commented and was like, eat meat. And I'm like, What if,
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
no.
Trolls.
End of conversation.
Yeah.
No.
And I just left it. I'm not gonna argue with them, but I just left it up because I'm like, I just want other people to see how stupid you are. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Not gonna engage with someone like that.
Yeah, those kinds of things are actually good to leave up because then somebody might see it and like engage with them and talk to them, and that's
I think that's exactly what happened.
better for your engagement. So
Exactly. That is
better for your
let them
engagement.
fight.
Sometimes, like, if someone responds or comments something ignorant, and it doesn't seem like it's being like terribly crude and crazy. Like sometimes it's nice to respond with facts. I'm like, well, actually, that's not true because X, Y, and Z. Having a great day though.
Sometimes when people leave comments that, like you said, aren't necessarily like attacking, they're just ignorant. That's an opportunity for you to maybe educate that person.
Exactly.
Maybe they're curious and they're like, oh, well, this is what I know. And then that's an opportunity for you to be like, well, this is what's fact. So,
Yeah.
It's a little harder, I think, when the negative comments they're making are about you physically, because then it's like, you know, at the end of the day, if you think I'm ugly, it's not, you know, I can't come out with like a peer-reviewed study to be like, actually, I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Even though you are, you know,
statistics say.
it's their like unwanted opinion. So I think with those kind of people,
If anyone
you just
attacks
block
physical
them.
appearance, that says more about them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's really sad. Like, I feel like people who spend their time trolling and like leaving negative comments, like
They're sad people.
yeah, they're sad people, and
Yeah.
like, you know, I really pray for humanity, and like, you know,
it's like, why? Obviously, you have too much time in your hands.
That's
And
true.
you're going out of your way.
hurt people. Maybe they're
Yeah.
hurt. You know,
That's true.
maybe that's how they get off.
So what
you
I
know?
like to do is I like to cuss them out. I leave it there for a minute and then I block them just to make sure they like, saw the notification on Instagram.
How long do you leave
It's
it
jackfruit.
before you block them?
I mean, just as long as I think it'll take for them to see it. But sometimes I do it before. I don't know.
Oh, you reply and then you block?
I mean, it depends. If I think it's something that's like really rude, like the other day I got just like someone commenting on my physical appearance when I posted a reel.
Ew.
So I just responded,
What, they said you had a nice body?
no.
Drop
They
their
just-
hat. Let's beat them up.
They had a fake account.
What
It
the
was like
fuck?
it was like they were following two people who were celebrities.
It's always a fake account.
It's a fake account.
Yeah, like stand behind that.
Pass the
Said.
fucking balls and
Or-
say what you need to say.
Stand behind that.
Or come
From
at
the
me
real
in
account.
person, or come at me in person
Yeah,
and say like
say it to
I
my
think you're
face.
X, Y, and Z. So it could be like, okay, you want to go outside?
Exactly.
Honestly, misery loves company. Like, they felt the need to comment something negative towards you because they felt like, oh, it'll make me feel better to bring this
Right.
person down. And it's
That's
like,
so sad.
but you can't be brought down.
Like-
Look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I do cuss them out though, and then I block them.
People really don't like to see people, if they're not happy, they don't like to see people who are really happy and comfortable in their own
Uncomfortable in their own
skin.
skin, and it triggers them because
Yeah.
they know that they're not comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I've been that way too in the past. Like when I'm not happy, like,
Yeah.
I definitely like feel like unnecessary like resentment towards people who are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like no matter how unhappy I've been, and we've had our low points and stuff, I've never thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a fake account and I'm gonna go be really mean to people who are
So
happy
true.
and who are thriving right now.
Yeah.
When I see people like that,
So
I'm
unnecessary.
like scrolling through Instagram, like, yeah, it does make me feel kind of like, fuck, like I wish I felt like that. Like I wish I
Right.
was like that happy. Like what do I need to do to get to that point? Like that's
Yeah.
where my mind goes rather than like, you know what, I'm gonna make a fake account and I'm gonna tell her she's ugly. Like
So
what?
unnecessary.
How low and how miserable do you have to be to get to that point?
And we all have our bad days where we do feel like shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Of
also.
course.
And we might want to take it out on.
Yeah, I think that you also can't think that you're
Take
going
it
to be
out on
positive all
your
the time.
Right. Isn't that called like toxic positivity?
Yeah, toxic positivity where you don't let, you know, you're not like, it's not reality. You're not actually facing your emotions. You're not allowing yourself to be sad or angry about something.
Ooh,
As long
that's
as you,
unhealthy.
as long as you acknowledge why you're sad, why you're angry, like you realize that, okay, this is just a momentary feeling. I'm feeling this way because of X. This is how I'm going to deal with it. Then, you know, that's fine. If you're covering that up with, no, I'm happy! Just like, that can't be good for you. You're not like embodying what you need to, you know, like real honestness with yourself, I think. So at that point, you just have to kind of deal with it however, whatever is self-care for you, that's kind of what you should strive to do if you do find yourself in those moments.
Or speaking of toxic positivity, something that triggers me a lot, if I'm having a bad day and I'm just like, God, I just really hate this, I don't want to do this today, my mind tends to go to the negative more than to the positive.
Yeah, of course.
And then when someone's like, but you're so lucky because you get to eat and you have clothes and you have this, and it's like, I don't need to hear that right now. Sometimes I just need to like, you know what, like you're valid in your feelings, like you're having a bad day, you don't feel good about yourself. Let's do something that maybe, like, let's take a walk, let's go on a hike, or why don't we go shopping, or whatever it may be. But instead of telling someone like, you don't have a right to feel that way because you have these things that are totally unrelated.
No.
I hate that kind of toxic
I
positivity.
mean, we know from history that people with money and success are still depressed. Like, we've seen it happen.
And
like,
living in LA, we see it a lot.
You can have everything in life and still be depressed. Like, that's different, you know. It's a mental health issue. It's not like a money issue. It'd be nice if money solved everybody's problems. I mean, I think it definitely helps, but
So when COVID first started, I like found myself in like all these different classes because I'm like, I gotta stay busy. So I was like doing all these different online classes, and one of them was this Yale course, and Yale.
Oh, Yale.
Yale.
I was like yelling. Like a yell course.
A yell course. That sounds healthy.
Nice.
That
Hold
sounds healthy. But it was this Yale course, and we learned about happiness. And throughout the whole studies and everything, like the top two things I remember that the professor said that like create happiness is gratitude, and also like doing something for someone else, like small acts of kindness, you know, like literally this is like scientific stuff. And what's wrong with that?
that is so true. Like, do you actually feel better after commenting something rude on someone's page? Like,
Maybe for a second.
Maybe for a second. But then, like, that feeling can't last that long.
Yeah.
But I just know, like, when I'm in like a Starbucks drive-thru and somebody buys my coffee in front of me, I'm just like elated. I'm like,
Has done that for you?
How many times?
a couple times, and then I always pass it on to the person behind me.
Yeah, they talk about that in the course too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna challenge you guys to do something like that.
That's so nice.
Let
I'm
us
challenging myself too.
Give us ideas of like things to do.
I never go through the drive-thru at Starbucks. I just walk in because it's faster.
I've seen people pay people's parking meters too for them.
Yeah.
There's other things you can do.
Even giving someone a compliment can boost your happiness.
Yeah.
In LA, I've definitely seen people put coins into parking meters when they see that the parking enforcement person is about getting out of their car. They go and they put quarters in people's meters.
Spice them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If I saw something like that, I would do that too, because I do not like you parking enforcement people. Let me tell you, if you chose that as a job, I'm not.
Wait, let's talk about that
Let's
though.
talk about that.
You gotta follow the rules.
That too.
It's their job, right?
I know, but
So you don't look at the signs?
Also,
I never gone to parking.
Okay, maybe they didn't. Knock on wood, girl.
maybe they didn't choose that to be
Where's
their
the
job.
wood? You
The
have
floor
the
is the
wood.
wood. Just
The floor. I don't think
Okay.
anybody who's a parking meter person wants to be a parking meter person.
Really, some people probably get off on it though.
Some people
I
probably
think some
do.
people get off on it, and I have seen some people get off on it.
Just like authority and just being like, what?
That's true.
I can do this. But they teach their own. Okay, what do we think about this crab cake?
Well,
So
I've tried
freaking
it.
good. I loved
Is
it.
it really good? Okay, good.
I like it better than the
Well,
grass is
I like the
It's
sauce.
the
It's like a lemon caper sauce, and capers are my favorite thing ever.
Mm.
Like ever.
Yeah.
And the capers
Sauce
are
is
really
very
big.
I love capers.
And there's like a pickled cabbage too.
Yeah, you're right. It's not the parking enforcement people's fault, but
It's the city.
It's the city.
it's the city.
Like when I went to Washington D.C., like they have a parking meter app, so you can just log into it and add money, like see how much time you have, so you don't have to run back to your meter. Like I'm
They
convinced
make
that's
it easy on
Washington
you.
D.C. LA doesn't want us to have that because they make so much money off people getting parking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Although Pasadena has that.
They do.
So does Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Long Beach has it too.
Maybe it just
So
has
it's
like,
LA
maybe
County.
here. Yeah, LA County, of course. Where they write the
Long
most
Beach.
tickets and it's hardest to find parking.
Long Beach is LA County.
Whoa, really? Okay.
I think maybe it's just
What?
like, it's just per area because we have like really old parking meters, So it could be that they're like updating them and maybe like area by area.
Come on, LA.
Maybe they're
We pay you guys enough
coming out with
money.
new ones.
That would make life so much easier.
Yeah.
When I first moved to LA, I was culture shocked for so many reasons, but one of the reasons was like paying for parking. Cause like, you know, like where I'm from, you just pull up somewhere and you're there. Store, mall,
Wow.
everywhere.
concept.
The only place you don't have to pay to park here, I feel like, is the gas station.
Literally.
And you're still paying to park.
Literally.
You're paying to get the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Like, why do I have to find parking to go visit a friend? Like,
No.
Mm-hmm.
big
Have we
city
tried the
living.
sushi yet? Has anyone tried
I
it?
did, and it's so good.
Does it have rice in it?
I think it might be quinoa.
Oh, it looks like quinoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quinoa.
Okay, this crab cake is
It's
so
cooked.
freaking good.
No. Yeah, the crab cake is a winner
Oh, bomb.
for sure. Honestly, everything's been good. Nothing I've tried has been like not good. I would order all of it again.
Yeah, I like Sun Cafe because it's like very fresh and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little pricey, but it's good every now and again.
Yeah.
As
It's like a
our
treat.
It is all
most
organic, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Sun Cafe Organic. That's the name of it.
Wow. The sushi is bomb.
So
It's
good.
very good.
What's the flavor profile?
It kind of tastes like tuna, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they use chickpeas, right?
It looks like tuna. It looks like chickpea tuna.
It's so good.
We have 2 months left of the year.
We do.
Do you guys have any goals that you want to achieve by the end of the year?
Stay alive.
Literally.
Truly, that's where I'm at too.
Literally. Every day is another mission to stay alive, to be honest.
Whew, it's
Lord.
been, honestly, in a way, I feel like this year was harder than 2020.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, this year was way harder for me than 2020
Yeah.
was. Like, way harder.
It all
What
happened
happened?
so fast. I feel like we went back to like, you know, what is the most normal we could possibly go. It feels like overnight, and then everything seems to be like on overdrive. Like I kind of thought when we were in 2020, I would have thought that it would have kind of eased in and people would have like kind of slowly started going back to normal. And
We're literally, 2021 was like the representation of people who don't deal with their mental health and they just try to cover it up. It's literally like, just pretend it didn't
Amplified.
happen. Just pretend it didn't happen. Like, everything's gonna be fine, just cover it up. It's literally like people who just don't go to therapy and refuse to like face their trauma and like face their issues. 2021 was the representation of that.
well,
None of us dealt with it.
you may not even think you have issues, but you went through a traumatic experience. 2020 was traumatic.
Yeah.
So I
Unless
think
you were asleep the whole year.
every single person on this planet should have therapy. Like it should be free and mandatory for every single person who was alive during 2020. And because it's not, because there's such a stigma around mental health and therapy that I feel like so many people didn't take care of that it's now unleashing itself in this form of like aggression. Like we're talking about like the hateful comments and like it's kind of this energy I feel like too in the air. Like if you go somewhere that's like kind of stressful, like I was in like a Ross the other day and this woman was walking behind me and I couldn't go anywhere because there was someone in front of me, but she was really upset and I could tell she was like pushing her cart as fast as she could, and then she finally goes ah, and like screams and then like goes around like dramatically into the other row, and I was like, girl, like if you're that upset. A Ross.
A Ross?
Yeah.
Like, what are you getting that's so emergency
I know.
out of Ross? Like, candles on sale?
I
Like,
don't
what
know.
on earth is the hurt? Honestly, though, bring back to that point, all the, like, Karen accounts, like, you know, I follow a bunch of those because they're funny to watch. Like,
They're
Karen's
funny,
having meltdowns. But then, if you really look at it, it's actually really sad because it's people who are, like, not well mentally and they're
Yeah.
lashing out in every other way, lashing out in public, lashing out about things that are none of their business because they're not like dealing with actual like
Yeah. They're not well, and they're also
Sorry.
privileged, and their privilege has been challenged for the first time probably in a while, if not the first time ever in their lives.
Do you want some salad?
It's this entitlement, I think, though, that they have. It's like that you can be mentally unwell and not have this entitlement that.
you think we'll be okay
Karen's
without this
out.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. This year it's just like nobody had patience, everybody was just angry everywhere that they went. I mean, even me, like at work, I think because I got that break in 2020 and I got to finally like relax, and yeah, it was like, you know, because the world was crumbling, but I got to just like stay home and relax and not have this
For the
like
first time.
Yeah.
for the first time ever. And now going back, it's like there's all this tension, and I just like realized, oh, I'm a human being and I deserve to be treated with respect. It's like all of a sudden that clicked. And going back to work now, I have zero tolerance for disrespect. Like before I would brush it off, but now I'm like, no, don't talk to me like that.
I
ever.
agree.
Do not fucking talk to me like that. You know, so it's like
That's kind of what I'm going through too.
Right?
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't want to say I'm waiting for it. That's not the correct term. But it's like, if I feel like I'm ready for it. Like if I feel like I've been disrespected before at work, regardless of who it is, coworker, boss, you know, I'm just gonna say, when you are done having a tantrum, we can talk like adults. I'm not gonna like, you know, bow my head and just be like, oh yeah, okay. You know, just like standing up for myself. Because I think we all maybe like collectively decided that we deserve better. And we see that right now, I think, with just like, it's an employee's market right now. So many employees are, you know, stepping back and putting their job and saying like, no, you paying me a little bit more isn't enough. Like I need actual benefits. I need like a good job, or, you know, just shifting their whole energy to a new job or a new career path. So
I hope that stays.
I hope so too.
Oh yeah. Until 2020, like we were just in the overdrive, just like going. It's like from school, you get a job, you go to college, you do this, like you don't stop.
You don't stop. That was the first time we stopped.
That was the first time we stopped and looked around and thought for a second, like, whoa.
But you know what's
This is
sad?
what being human is.
I still feel like the majority of the world didn't learn the lesson. You know, just like learning human compassion and just like learning how to slow down and learning how to be kind and like all the things we didn't get to have like human interaction.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
During quarantine, I only saw like 2 people.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
my friend Jared always says this because I remember I would get really frustrated with friends of mine who refused to quarantine, refused to follow the guidelines. And at the time I was just like, in my mind it's so simple. Like, they're telling you to do one thing, just do it.
But baby girl, you know what I learned? People are afraid to sit with themselves.
That's what I was just gonna say. Jared thinks, like my best friend Jared, you guys know him, you saw him.
Hey Jared!
I said to him, I literally was like, what the fuck is wrong with all these people? And he's like, well, you said it best, like, they just don't want to be alone with themselves. Because this is the first time, like, think about it. All the people who I know that couldn't just follow simple rules and just like stay home are the people who are always out at nightclubs. They're always fucked up. They're always traveling. They're always with someone. They're always are just like out and doing things. And I'm like, oh, it's because you need to keep yourself busy, because if you sit down
with
alone with your own thoughts, you don't like yourself. You can't handle yourself.
Isn't that crazy?
It's sad.
It's sad.
I think that's why though,
but
that
then
some people learned the lesson. The people who actually, I think, quarantined learned the lesson.
But I seriously, like, I love sitting at home by myself.
Me too.
I had the realization, I was like, wait a second, I'm okay with myself.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
nice thing to learn about yourself is like, I enjoy my own company, I can be by myself.
That alone
for however
time.
long.
Especially at the beginning, I think that was obviously it was a scary time, don't get me wrong, but there was there was something exciting about just like waking up at like 8:59 if you were allowed to work from home like I was. And just like rolling out of bed and just being at work and just like, on having someone micromanage you and ask you all these questions and just like being on top of you all the time. It was like even though you were confined, it was a different kind of liberty that came from not, being trapped in a cubicle or, if you have like regular 9 to 5.
And it was so fun and exciting to like find different ways to occupy yourself and like different. I remember one time
shows.
Remember we downloaded some app.
Oh,
in the beginning of quarantine, like literally
the party.
Yeah, as soon as
Do you guys remember
house party?
House party.
I never did that.
Wait,
it was an app.
It was an app. It was basically like FaceTime. You could talk to multiple people, but you could play games at the same time.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I did
do that once. I did do that once.
It was just like,
as
soon as lockdown came, like,
I did that a few times.
I went on there with her and Russell.
We did it a few times, and I did it a few times with my coworkers, and then I deleted the app.
I deleted it. Yeah.
It would have been nice to invest in that app right before that happened.
Yeah,
and at the peak of it, been like, all right, time to sell.
And Zoom, like, I had no idea Zoom existed before. And I talked to people and they're like, yeah, I've been using Zoom for years at work. I'm like, oh, really? Like, Zoom was banging and booming.
Zoom is here to stay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
for me, like, it was so eye-opening in the best way because I've been working since I was 16 and I never stopped. Like, even when I moved to LA, it took like 2 weeks to like settle in and then I found a job right away. So I was like busy the whole time.
She's a hustler.
Before we shut down for the panoramic, I was working 5 days a week and I was doing doubles on like 1 day of the week, every single week. Like that was just my life. And I was like, okay, this is just life. I was tired all the time. Finally, it all stopped and I remember telling my boyfriend, because we got a letter from our company saying that we were shutting down for 2 weeks and, you know, super scary time. And I looked at him and I was like, what am I going to do for 2 weeks? What am I going to do? Like, what do I do for, like, literally freaking out, thinking like, for 2 weeks, and he's like, do you have enough money, right? And I'm like, of course I do, but like, I gotta work, I gotta be working, you know, what else am I gonna do? I was losing my mind at the thought of having to take 2 weeks off.
Wow.
Obviously that 2 weeks turned into like 6 months or whatever. And then finally I like calmed down and I was like, oh my God, this is what it's like to just like live and like wake up when you want to, go for a walk, like just be human.
Yeah.
Because before that I was like, I didn't understand the concept of being human, I don't think.
And I feel like a lot of people
enjoying my living and existence and like doing what I want to.
Yeah.
I lived for somebody else's time.
I also think that since the panoramic, since the panini,
The panini press.
Since the panty.
since the Polaroid picture, that's the first time that I started hearing about people saying, no, I don't want to hustle. I don't want to work forever. I don't want to be like 82 needing a part-time job because my social security isn't enough. Like I don't,
Exactly.
you know, I don't want to live that life where I'm hustling, and I have no time to actually enjoy the people that I love, enjoy like, you know, create memories that I'm going to look back on, because that's really all you have. I don't want to like look back and say, wow, I really fucking worked for 70 years. So glad I, you know, grinded so hard.
But think about it, the only reason why you realize that or what anybody did is because we were given the opportunity to finally stop.
Exactly.
Because all of us are constantly
Exactly.
stressed
Yeah.
and kept in this cycle of like, you need to work, you need to hustle, you need this, you need
Yeah.
this. And then before you know it, your life is over and you're 75
Right.
and it's time to retire and you're like, wait a second, where did my life go?
Exactly.
And at that point it's too late. So it's like with this, we got a chance to experience that.
Yeah.
Stop for a second and think for ourselves and be like, why am I doing this for other people?
Yeah.
Why am I making other people rich?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
While
And
killing myself.
Exactly, and just letting life pass you by. And I feel like that's a problem, you know, specifically in America for sure, because I know other countries that like, it's like they go on holidays. My manager works for like a company that's like based in the UK, and like she gets whatever vacation time she needs. You know, like they care about the mental health and well-being of, you know, the people that work for them.
That's amazing. I mean, we just have it all backwards because that ends up with better productivity. Like, there's so many studies that show that you're only productive for a certain amount of time a day.
Yeah,
so why are we forcing people to be in the office for 10 hours? Like,
or why do we have the 40-hour work week? When, like you said, there's been studies that show that if people have less hours, they work harder during those hours because they know they only have X amount of hours to get their job done. And they will. They'll get their job done in X amount of hours and then they'll go home. Whether that means they get to the office later, or they leave earlier, or they just like cut off a whole week. I mean, a whole day. So it's only a 4-day work week type of setup. That's better and that's healthier than just being there for 8-9 hours a day. Just like, well, I've got to use up all my time here, and it doesn't increase productivity. It really doesn't. So
And you're just
It's
miserable.
not healthy.
you're miserable.
You don't have time to go see your friends. You don't have time to like be a human being and just like enjoy the small things in life, like going out and getting like a drink with your friend after work. Why would you want to do that after you sat there for 9 hours? Your brain's been in overdrive.
Right.
yeah.
You're exhausted, so you just go home, go to sleep, and you wake up and do it the next day.
Or why are we okay with having a life where we live for the weekend?
Yeah.
Like, admittedly, like that's, you know, I feel like what most of my working life has been like, oh, I can't wait whether it's a weekend or whenever I have a day off. That's like what I like look forward to, because then I can do things that I'm actually happy about.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fun, it's like a rat race, and it's not fun, to
It's
be
literally
honest.
a rat race because weekends are a nightmare because people wait for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then everywhere is overcrowded. Everyone's going crazy binge drinking because they're trying to enjoy their weekend because they only have
That's all they get.
That's all they get.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that it's because the way that things have been built here, ironically enough, because we're told like it's the land of opportunity, you can do whatever you want to.
Grind,
you can
grind,
hustle. And it's like, no, you're grinding for somebody else and making them rich, and you don't have enough time to stop and realize that you are just making someone else rich, and it's probably not going to happen for you by just sitting there grinding and hustling for that.
You know, and it's just looking at things like through like a realistic, you know, it's just a realistic perspective, I think, because you can, you know, there's always gonna be people like, well, with that mentality, like, you have to go out there and like build a 7-figure company, be an entrepreneur. It's like, there's only, with whatever market, there's only so much availability. You know, like, things become saturated. If tomorrow we all decide to build like crab cakes, you know, vegan crab cakes, and everybody else is already doing it, there's only so much space. Like, it really isn't like this infinite like universe of fucking crab cake.
But what do you feel like what if everyone just only got jobs that would bring them joy? Or doing something that would make them happy?
I think it's
That's a good
realistic. I think it's realistic, but I actually don't think it's realistic for everybody. I think that because so many companies prioritize their bottom line over their employees' lives and their quality of life, that like, you may think, I know a lot of people who like thought that they had their dream job, and then they worked there for a year, and then they realized like, this company doesn't give a crap about me. Like I'm just another like machine on their line. Like so
I think that's a good point, and I think, you know, not everybody is a visionary. Not everybody wants to go out and start a 7-figure business. Some people really just want to be able to feed their families and enjoy it.
True.
And so if we had companies that treated their employees better, so that their employees didn't have to worry about, you know, healthcare or this and that, or like, you know, if their child breaks like their leg playing soccer, you know, things like that people shouldn't have to worry about. I think people would be happier too, because it's very few people that I've met that work a 9 to 5 that are like, yeah, my company has amazing benefits. I have this, I have this. Like, it's very few. I know like 2 people that are pretty happy with where they work. But other than that, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's kind of like my horse is bigger than yours. Well, my company does this. And, you know, they screw us over in this way. It's kind of like just a competition of who has it worse, unfortunately. So, I mean, that's a good point. Maybe we don't all have room to, you know, become Bill Gates.
I mean, the thing is, like, that's not what I want for my happiness. I want, like, I just want a house.
Just be comfortable.
I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to afford to, like, eat and, like, not be forced to interact with large groups of people, because that's not what I like to do, but I have to right now to survive. I just want a house, I want space, and I want to help rescue animals, and that's it. And I want to be able to feed myself. I don't want to be Bill Gates. I don't want to be the richest person in the world and have a gold-plated toilet seat and have a mansion in Beverly Hills to be flashy and this and that.
Especially if you're not going to do anything good with that money.
And that's the thing that's the
then
most
why
frustrating.
do you deserve it, you know?
Exactly. It's like, it's so frustrating, because in my mind, what I want isn't insane. It isn't this like grand idea. I just want like the bare minimum. The fact that I live in a world where I can't even have the
where
bare
you work
like,
over 40 hours a week and you can't even have the bare minimum.
It's like, I just want a house. And millennials
so
can't even afford to get a house.
So is that a question about minimum wage too?
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's a question about everything. Because if you're paying like health insurance out of pocket too, because of how much you make, you have to pay health insurance out of pocket, then that's, you know, let's say $300 a month that you're not putting towards your house. Because you have to spend health insurance.
It's like a trap. It's all a trap.
Yes, and it's built that way.
We were talking about this. Like, why is it so expensive to be alive? Like, why is it so expensive just to be alive? We did not ask to be put here.
I didn't want it.
I did not ask to be here.
And now I gotta work and pay to be here.
And I'm like, what? We're so stupid. We literally are born on Earth. It's not like we were given an option of planets. Why am I paying to be human? Why am I paying to exist here? Like, I naturally exist here. Why do I have to pay for it?
Honestly, this may sound messed up, but I've had conversations like this with my friends before. But like, my parents decide to make a baby. They should support me for the rest of my life. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense. You put me here. Do what you need to do.
I know.
If I ever have kids, I will make sure that I will support them as long as they need me to. Like, because I brought them into this world, and I'm not gonna let them get in a situation.
Just be like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Time to go pay bills now.
Yeah, truly. With my parents, I'm like, I didn't ask for this.
Y'all wanted this for your marriage.
Yeah.
Y'all wanted this.
Okay, I'm gonna say something.
I'm about to call my dad right now and be like, listen.
Listen, motherfucker.
Everyone call your parents.
Everyone call your parents and tell them they put you here.
We didn't ask for this.
You didn't ask for all this.
My parents helped me a lot. I don't have to pay rent because because I live with my parents. So
Yeah,
but
you too.
but RC
He
too.
doesn't pay rent either.
But it's still not enough.
It's
Because
so
life
not.
is so expensive that even if your parents are paying for most of your bills or most of it, which in my case they aren't, but they're helping me, it's still not enough.
So imagine
I still have
how,
credit card debt. I still have, a car payment. I still have this. I still have that, and everything's freaking expensive.
Imagine
Everything's
how
so
messed up of a situation we're in that you can't, because that's the thing. Back in the day, I feel like 20 years ago, it was like, oh, if you want to save money and you want to buy a house and you want to get yourself, stand up on your feet, you live with your parents. And the fact that today in 2021, you can live with your parents and you still can't afford to live.
Like, unless your parents are super well off and you're lucky enough to have that be your circumstance. Today, you live with your parents because you're helping them and they're helping you. And it's almost just like having roommates because you're all trying to survive.
You're all just trying to survive.
It's not, oh, I'm pocketing all this money. It's like, no, we're all trying to get by. And you happen to be my parents.
Stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Food was great.
So good.
Conversation was even better.
Yeah.
Better. You guys just got to listen in on one of our normal conversations. I feel like.
Yeah, this really is as raw as it gets.
Yeah, this is like the
how we
conversations
talk.
we have in the car when like the camera isn't rolling. We get fired up about stuff, so you guys have to be a part of it.
So let us know your thoughts and comments.
Yeah.
On anything
Down
that
below.
we talked about.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's have some more conversation.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us for lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to our channel, join our Facebook group, and follow us on our individual social medias. We'll link everything in the description box down below. And we will see you guys next week for another episode.
Bye.
Bye.